This episode of Taste TV is sponsored by Dakota Fluid Motion in Berthold. Dakota Fluid Motion is the top choice for industrial, oil field, and municipal pump sales and repair. They have job openings as well. If you're interested in their services or a career, you can contact them by heading to their website, call 701-453-3270, or email them at the email seen on your screen. It was a cold winter night, and little Leo didn't have anywhere to go. Where was his family? I don't know. But he showed up on my friend Hannah's doorstep one night looking for a warm place to stay and some food. Luckily, Hannah is a bigger cat lady than anyone else I know, so she brought Leo inside. My other friend Hunter and Hannah would take turns taking care of little Leo. Throughout the night, he would need medicine and food because he was so tiny. Now we're backtracking a little bit. After my mom died when I was 16, I found someone who I thought could fill that void in my heart. I ended up getting into a really toxic relationship and spent 4 full years with this person. But while we were together for the first 2 years, my boyfriend at the time gave me a kitten from the shelter. Her name was Ivy. Ivy had a little sinus infection when we got her, but she eventually got better. After 2 years together, my boyfriend and me broke up, and I left Ivy at his house for a few days before I could go get her. However, this didn't happen. Ivy had escaped his house one day, and a man had found her, and because she clawed at him to get away, this man took her and snapped her neck and killed her. After a while, and moving all the way to Washington, my ex said he wanted me back. So I left Washington so I could come back to be with him again. When I moved back in with him, I noticed that he had another cat, a black cat, and his name was Leo. His sister-in-law, also my friend Hannah, gave him Leo because Hunter couldn't take him at the time. I wanted nothing to do with Leo. I thought he was the replacement cat to my baby Ivy. However, this cat would not leave me alone. He followed me around like a little dog. For those who have been through a toxic relationship, they know that it can be hard to leave, and the cycle usually repeats itself. So, not long after we got back together, things started getting bad again. Go to bed alone, and you wake up alone. This was right after my mother passed too. I consider this 4 to 5 years of my life some of the darkest moments that I ever went through. I look back now and wonder if it's because all of this happened while my brain was still developing that I ended up falling deep into a dark depression. I've always struggled with depression, but when you go through something like this, you fall even deeper into it. One day I ended up self-harming in the shower, and I kept thinking about who would care if I were to die. I was sitting down in the shower with the water pouring onto my head. Then here comes Leo. He starts nuzzling up against my arm while I'm slumped over on the floor in the shower. I thought to myself, this cat needs me. I can't leave him. So, a while later, and I finally left again, for good. I packed all my stuff in one night and took Leo with me. Of course, getting permission from Hannah first, as she had the papers to him. I truly believe Leo saved my life that night, and he has proven to get me through some other very dark moments of my life ever since. He knows when I'm sad, and every time I take a shower, he has to check on me, especially if I've been feeling sad. He's my truest best friend in this world, and I know it sounds silly, but I've never felt so connected to another being in my life. I truly believe Leo is an angel sent to find me. About 2 years later, Leo and I moved from my dad's house to a small house in Mohall by ourselves. I love that tiny house, as it was also right next door to my best friend and boss, Sarah. I was a bartender at several small-town bars at the time, working for Sarah at Drinks. Then I also worked at the Naked Moose 2 and the Mohall Country Club in the summer. One of my regulars was by no surprise a farmer. His family had farm kittens every year. One day he sends me a Snapchat of this tiny kitten with him in the tractor and asking if I wanted to be its mom. I kindly declined as I was certain I was a one-cat person. However, I started to think that Leo needs a sibling since I'm gone all of the time working. He must be lonely at home. Then my friend tells me that its mom rejected it and that it was the runt of the litter. If someone didn't take it, it was going to die. So my heart broke and I caved. I took the kitten in and bottle fed it for the first 3 to 4 weeks. I named it Binx. After a while, I went to take it in to get neutered. However, the vet called to tell me that they would need to spay Binx instead of neuter her. I mean, I should have known this, as she's a calico cat, and little known fact, most calico cats are female. But I thought Binx was a male for the first few months of her life. But now look at her. Definitely no runt, that's for sure. So that's the story of my kitties, Leo and Binx. Like I always say, Leo saved me and I saved Binx. And this is my little happy family. Reporting for Taze TV, I'm Taylor Austin.